There's always something new to discover. Come be a part of it. Plan your next vacation at ilovenewyork.com.
We're going hands-on with Sony's unique new earbuds. They're meant to stay in your ears whether you're listening to music or taking a call or not in TechSmart.
Monday at 5 a.m.
You are convinced that President Putin is going to invade Ukraine. Is that what you just said a few moments ago?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Right now at 5, on the brink of battle, President Biden says his intelligence shows Russian President Vladimir Putin will attack Ukraine in the coming days. What's next to stop an all-out war?
I understand a mother's love, and I am sorry I broke your heart.
Tears flow as a former officer pleads for forgiveness from the family of the man she accidentally gunned down. How long will Kim Potter spend behind bars in the death of Dante Wright?
And oh my gosh, by 2100, does it really change things?
Doubling the danger, researchers reveal California's climate crisis could trigger a steep swell in SoCal's fire season, even into wet winter months. Are we in for a fiery future? The news at 5 starts right now.
We made it to Friday, everybody. This is the KTLA 5 News at 5. I'm Cher Calvin.
And I'm Paige Rivera. Thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news. In the starkest terms yet, President Joe Biden telling reporters today Russian President Vladimir Putin has decided to invade Ukraine in a matter of days.
Well, President Biden says that he believes Russia will attack Ukraine's capital of Kyiv with bombs and missiles, putting the lives of tens of thousands of people at risk. We have live team coverage tonight. Our correspondent is standing by in the nation's capital, and we are keeping an eye on Kyiv to see if there's any movement there tonight.
But let's begin with Lauren Lister live in our news center with more on. She's been following these breaking developments, so let's get to her. Lauren.
Yeah, Pedro and Cher, the president today saying he is convinced that Russian President Vladimir Putin has decided to invade Ukraine, citing U.S. intelligence, but making it clear diplomacy is still an option to avoid war.
We have reason to believe the Russian forces are planning to and intend to attack Ukraine in the coming week, in the coming days.
The president speaking from the White House, giving the clearest indication yet of just how close war may be.
If Russia pursues its plans, it will be responsible for a catastrophic and needless war of choice.
The president saying the U.S. will not send troops to fight in Ukraine, but will continue to support the Ukrainian people, citing hundreds of millions in past security assistance and humanitarian aid. Earlier this week, these U.S. fighter jets were bound for Europe to enhance collective defense.
Over the last few days, we've seen reports of a major uptick in violations of the ceasefire by Russian-backed fighters attempting to provoke Ukraine.
He cited this shelling of a Ukrainian kindergarten yesterday as an example, saying Russia falsely asserted it was carried out by Ukraine. The president accusing Russia of a disinformation campaign that would be used to falsely justify invading Ukraine. He says Russian forces are positioned.
Russian troops currently have Ukraine surrounded.
Amid the tense standoff today, a rainbow seen over the city of Kyiv. President Biden says he believes Russia will target the Ukrainian capital, a city with 2.8 million innocent people. Also making clear it's not too late for Russia to de-escalate and return to the negotiating table.
The entire free world is united. Russia has a choice between war and all the suffering it will bring, or diplomacy that will make a future safer for everyone.
Of course, everybody hoping for diplomacy and that off-ramp, Lauren, that everybody's been talking about. But if Russia does invade Ukraine, what will the impact here in the United States be?
If Russia invades, Cher, if there is a war, one big impact expected is on financial markets, which do not respond well to uncertainty. If hostilities break out, Goldman Sachs, for one, anticipates up to a 5% decline in U.S. stocks. So it could impact people's investments, their 401ks, also energy markets. markets. Russia is the third largest oil producer in the world. Analysts say access to supply would likely be disrupted in the case of military conflict or sanctions, which the U.S. has threatened, all driving oil prices up. Already tensions in the region have been setting prices higher. It all translates to drivers having to pay more at the gas pump. Next hour, we have some reaction out of Ukraine tonight. For now, that's the latest. Live in the newsroom, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Lauren.
I do pray that one day you can find forgiveness.
Kim Potter murdered my son, and he died April 11th. Today, the justice system murdered him all over.
Emotions run high after a former Minnesota police officer who shot and killed Daunte Wright during a traffic stop is sentenced to 2 years behind bars. Jurors convicted Kim Potter on 2 counts of manslaughter in December.
They found Potter acted recklessly when she fired a bullet into Wright's chest while yelling that she was going to tase him. Potter testified that she thought she fired her taser. Wright's family was outraged by the lenient sentence. Governor Gavin Newsom taking aim